them off each other. That sometimes, yeah, it sometimes happens when they're together in the house, yeah. Whenever you have kind of like a disagreement on how to move forward with raising the children, for example, there becomes that split inside the house and it's bad for the child. So if you didn't have a player like you had the Sancho situation, and then you have Sancho going, oh, Nistelrooy, Ten Hag's a dickhead because he was saying XYZ and da 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 da. Yeah, you went into them complaining. And then now you've got the conflict that then will progress into the head coaches.
Mm.
It doesn't bode well, especially if one coach is like, okay, I want this player playing that position. This coach is saying, no, I want this player playing that position. And it's like, okay, who's taking responsibility? Who's going at the end of the game to talk in front of the cameras? Whose contract is at risk if upon this decision? How long does it take to make a quick decision during games? You've got three head coaches and you need to make substitutions to change the game. Are these three head coaches going to hold a council meeting, you know, to determine who comes on? Because what should happen is you should have your assistant manager and whatnot next to you. You talk about what they think. Yeah. You look at the game. You then you take what you think and you go, you know what? I'm going to do this. And you take responsibility. The
Mm.
decision's faster. The responsibility is laid at one person's door. And
Mm.
there's no ambiguity. When you have the multiple head coaches, you've got children who are going to be bad because they're going to go from one parent to another.
Yeah.
So if it is like that and Ten Hag has lost that much power, for
To
me, he's just collecting a wage at the moment. He's just
Yeah,
he's just he's
listen,
your
listen.
mascot.
I'm not disagreeing, man. I think we have to wait to the start of the season. But what one thing I will tell you is that he's going to be challenged a lot more than what he has done because this Van der Gag, I think he's just a yes man to Ten Hag. I don't think Van Nistelrooy for definite is not going to just put up with certain things that he sees Ten Hag doing. And Rene Hack, I don't really know too much about him, but the fact they're bringing them guys in, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man.
Like I can see an assistant
Yeah.
like disagreeing with the manager or head coach, whatever.
Mm.
But like I can't see them policing him, bro. Like, and if he can police him, then
Yeah.
then Ten Hag's not the one with the authority.
But this is the thing. We're gonna see. Because I do think something's going to go down because
But
this kind of
if you've got that amount of uncertainty,
mm,
how can you expect to say third place finish?
because at the end of the day, the players got him the trophy last season. I don't see why the players can't get him a third place
Okay,
finish.
I'll give you context. Yeah,
Mm,
remember Chelsea?
mm.
Sometimes they'd finish like seventh,
Yeah,
12th,
yeah,
and then win the
yeah,
league next season when they
yeah,
had a different manager.
yeah,
Like players are only consistent when you have like a consistency coming from the management. Yeah.
yeah.
If you don't have that, the
Mm,
idea that they'll be consistent enough to get to third place,
yeah.
I think that's high. You guys are singing musicals. That's
But
high hopes.
this is why Van Nistelrooy, I believe, has come in because Van Nistelrooy he's gonna be like a link to the players and the manager. So I think Van Nistelrooy will be there to keep good relations still. Yeah. My thing is I'll be watching Ten Hag closely to see the kind of to see the kind of team that he's gonna play because if he tries to play a similar team as to what he done the season just gone,
Mhm.
then this third place finish that I'm saying to you now, throw out the window. I need to be seeing Amad Diallo, yeah, being one of the regular starters. Jadon Sancho, a regular starter. Joshua Xerxes, Ivan Toney, if he does come in, starters. Yeah. Then that midfield, Kobe, I don't want to see Kobe play every week because it obviously risk of burnout.
Yeah.
But they need to be bringing in a couple of more midfielders. I can't be watching a season with Bruno, Mounts, McTominay. Like I can't be seeing that, and I don't believe Ineos and Wilcox and them guys will be accepting that either. You know,
I think the first thing you guys need to do is make it so you're not that easy to play through.
playthrough, yeah. But that comes again. That comes from the midfield, the amount of gaps that are being left. I hear a lot of fans saying that when you're playing with Maguire and Lindelof, the defensive line is too deep to push up
Okay.
because of the pacing behind. Yeah, but if you look at the way the midfield plays, he plays with a single pivot, and
Yeah.
it's been Casemiro. Everyone that knows Casemiro doesn't play as a single pivot. At Real Madrid, the system was different because Toni Kroos and Luka Modric would
Yeah,
come and get the ball from him to be the playmakers. Not to mention, Real Madrid dominate the majority of the games they play in. Yeah. So my thing is, if he thinks he can try and do that again, if Cass stays and play him by himself, then
yeah.
think again. Yeah.
Personally,
Bruno Fernandez. Sorry, 1 minute. Bruno Fernandez.
yeah.
Yeah. I want him moved on because he's a massive problem at the club. The amount of times he empties the midfield, yeah. The amount of times he gives the ball away because he wants to play Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I want to see Ineos. I want to see the coaches make a change. I want to see more short passing, and that's why the players he's brought in, especially like a Joshua Zirkzee, is a good sign because Joshua Zirkzee again wants to play possession based. So it just depends on the acquisitions that they do in likes of a Ugarte. If he wants to get another ball playing midfielder as well, will show me the kind of football that Man United are looking to play.
If you wanted to
The
get
very first league
Ugarte,
game will show us.
if you wanted to get Ugarte, I wouldn't really say that's like the ball playing midfield that you're talking about. But then at the same time, what I
What's
was gonna
available?
say was,
What's available?
is Zubimendi available?
Again, Zumendi, I'll take him, but there's not been any interest there. But
He said he wants to stay. He said he's happy to
yeah.
stay.
But
Yeah,
you see players
almost
like that.
every
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
That
saying.
it depends. When it comes to players like that, it depends. I think he wants to play for Barcelona. That's what I'm hearing. But
Yeah,
okay, my point when it comes when I was gonna interject when he was talking about Casemiro
yeah,
saying playing as a single pivot. Single pivots only like the issues only arise during transition. So even if you play as a double pivot and it's let's say as you progress the ball, one of the ball playing pivot members have pushed forward. You
mm,
now have a single pivot at the back. That only becomes an issue if that ball playing midfielder is pushed up so far and then he gets caught out.
yeah.
Yeah, which is normal. It happens all the time.
But you got to
But
be mobile. You got to be mobile in that position.
yeah, but that's when it's going to depend on two things: how compact you are in the back line and how athletic you are to cover the wings. Really, that's going to be your main issue. So I think you could have Casemiro playing that type of role. You could have had it, but you have to have the type of kind of defensive setup to kind of deal with those transitional moments. Yeah. But to defend in certain ways, like you said, you can't have the back line that's too deep. You actually kind of have to
Yeah,
push
but
it
it,
quite
yeah,
high
but
up.
the issue is, yeah, Casemiro is not 25, 24. The guy's past 30. So to expect him to be the single
That's
pivot
a lot. Yeah,
as
that's a
what
lot.
Ten Hag was trying to do, he hasn't got the legs for that. So even if you have quick centre backs, yeah, and you're pushing the team up, his role in the team shouldn't be to be,
I thought that's what Amrabat was supposed
chasing
to do.
man down all the time. He shouldn't be doing that.
I thought that's what Amrabat's supposed to do.
Yeah, but again, Amrabat has his uses, but he's someone that I mean, if Amrabat was signed to be a squad player, then I hear it. But I want Man United to go and get the very best that's available. And for me, Ugarte in that position, because I'd rather play two in there, not one.
So you
Ugarte
don't
gives
you
me
don't see yourself getting frustrated with a guy's ability on the ball.
no, because if you, I'll tell you why. Yeah, if you're gonna play, if you're gonna play a number 10 and then two deep line, yeah, Kobe Minu, as I said, is a number 8, and Kobe Minu will be the one that will be tasked of being the playmaker as such. Ugarte's role will be to break up play, be the aggressor, and then play the ball on to the more to someone like a Kobe. Which is why, for me, in number 10, if you're gonna play that way, you need someone that is a disciplined number 10 in terms of not playing hoofball every time you get it. You know what I mean? And that's why I said, like, someone for me, someone like Eze, yeah. Eze is slept on. I'd say that this guy needs to be bought because
I think you want that tiki taka approach. I think you want that
no,
pep
no, no,
football.
I do. I want good football. I'm sick and tired of watching United just get the ball from Bruno Fernandes and play hoofball out to either Rashford or Garnacho or Højlund to run onto it. That sort of football there ain't winning you anything. And eventually you're gonna come unstuck. But
I would,
go on.
I think a problem last season was breaking down teams that play with a low block.
Low block, yeah.
That's our biggest problem.
Why do you think I want Eze? What can Eze can break low blocks? Jadon Sancho can break low blocks. Amad Diallo can break low blocks. This is the issue. If you've got pace merchants are not breaking low blocks because you need to be good on the ball.
That's
Yeah?
not true, you know. That's not true.
So you
I have
think
to
pace
say that's
merchants
not true, bro.
can break low blocks?
All right. You know who one of the better in terms of going past players or breaking low blocks. I'm not talking about his end product, but disrupting a low block. That's what's his name? What's his name for Man City? He's gone
Joey
blank.
Doku.
Doku, yeah, Doku. He's a perfect example. He's the kind of player, for example, he's gonna have to change his game when he gets older and loses that explosive pace. But he is a pace merchant with quick feet.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can still do that, but what you have to do is you have to kind of like isolate. You have to have a system to isolate certain
Yeah.
parts of that low block to unsettle it. Yeah.
Right. So you're right. Yeah, you're right. But the players that will break the low blocks more often than not
Yeah.
are your players that are very good on the ball, i.e., your Jack Grealishes. Jack Grealish will break a low block more than what Doku would.
I get what you mean.
Because Doku needs space.
The most consistent way of breaking a low block, from what I've seen, is movement.
And we don't have that. I don't think.
I'll give you an example of what I mean by movement. For Liverpool, it would have been Salah Mane's movement, constantly disrupted low blocks. Another type of movement that would disrupt it would be a David Silva. Yeah, the person who finds pockets of space somehow all the time. Yeah. So, like in general, those are the most consistent ways of breaking low blocks, not necessarily taking people on, because 9 times out of 10 they'll just double up on you. Yeah, especially if they've got a goal ahead or whatever, or it's 0-0 and they're trying to